And I'm Tyler's brother, Kyle.
And I'm Tyler's best friend, Santina.
This opportunity to share the moment, the experience with my brother is remarkable. At times, I maybe see my brother twice a year, and comprehending his role has been difficult. However, this experience, watching my brother do what he does, it has truly put in perspective the magnitude of his accomplishments. His success is a direct product of who he is as a person. He is the most diligent, unselfish individual I've ever met. He takes full advantage of his showtime moments. Although he's my little brother, I look up to him and I admire his endeavors. But regardless, he will always be that kid with a gift of making me laugh.
Passion. Passion is what Tyler exudes in every aspect of his life. He possesses an unwavering passion for all of you FFA members, whom I know he holds so dear to his heart. He possesses an unwavering passion for this organization and agriculture as a whole, as it is clear he has dedicated his soul to it. He possesses a passion for the creative arts, constantly seeking out music that might otherwise slip underneath the radar. He possesses a passion for his hometown, as he cherishes the beauty of the Central Coast and always finds himself adventuring in the outdoors. In fact, Tyler Menane might possibly be the most passionate individual I have ever met, and his dedication is admirable. Our friendship fostered through the FFA as we served on our chapter's officer team together. As our friendship grew through a shared love of chocolate, Urban Outfitters, running, well, that was me more forcing Tyler to run, the Beatles, making pizzas while simultaneously dancing to Italian music, Harry Potter Merry Movie-thons, and so much more. It was clear that I considered Tyler my brother, so much so that oftentimes I introduce him as such to other people. His loyalty and kindness proved true in even the most trying times, showing me that family is not always who you're related to by simple molecules or genes, but rather who you choose to surround yourself with and lean on in times of sorrow and joy. Tyler has touched my life with his passion, even in the face of all the obstacles that have arisen in his life. I am so proud of the accomplishments, as he deserves all the accolades he so humbly receives. I am certain that Tyler's passion has touched many of you as well, as he has a way of connecting to individuals and igniting their own dreams. It is our pleasure to introduce our brother Tyler Menane to present his retiring address entitled A Lifelong Equation.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your gospel. Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for?
2 plus 2 equals 4. Got it. 6 times 3 equals 18. That's right. It's in the back of the book. And 3. Ooh. Lim over infinity with an arrow to 100 over x squared plus 5. And it's not even in the back of the book. Safe to say, math was never one of my strong suits. In fact, every time I would walk into one of my math classes, I would fear the equations we would have to solve that day. But as time moved on and classes became more intense, I began to see equations even outside of my life. one of these equations had to do with my family. Like many of us here in Selland, my parents are divorced. This can be represented by the equation 2 divided by 1. Now, at first, this equation was something difficult, yet appeared to be so easy. But over time, I was able to find the answer. The answer is still 2. However, it is represented by 2 individual numerals. Time had moved on, and I began to see another equation in my life. 1 plus 2 equals 3. This represents my father remarrying, adding to my list of guardians. At first, this equation seemed to be easy, but over time, it led to another equation that took me over 4 years to find the answer. However, as with everything, over time, the equation to be solved became clearer, but not necessarily less complicated. In order to solve the equation, I had to follow 2 different steps. First, subtract the negative, and second, add the positive. Once we accomplish this, we can find our own answers of growth towards one's individual life. I first saw how to answer the equation one day after school. After working in the school barn for quite some time on our school farm, I found myself sitting on a curb outside of our school's football stadium, waiting to be picked up. I watched as every sports practice had ended, every teacher had left, and the nighttime janitors began to make their sweeps. I sat there in the dark, alone, waiting to be picked up. All because my views and beliefs didn't align with those of my father's household. I sat there thinking about how the past 4 years I had changed into a hateful, immature boy who laughed at others' troubles and disliked them for their beliefs. I learned how the past 4 years I was a hateful person. I made fun of others and did not like them for their own simple ideas. I knew that this wasn't the life for me and that I was something greater than the immoral values being impressed upon my life. Sitting there in the dark, the confidence in one of the biggest decisions I would ever have to make grew. The sun had been down for quite some time, and I was finally picked up by my father. The whole way back, all I could think about is the obstacles that I was thrown through, what environment I was placed into for a portion of my life that degraded me, and how much better life would be after this. Before we got out of the truck, I turned to my father and told him that I'd be ending visitation with him. Although something so simple to others, this was one of the toughest decisions that I have ever have to make in my entire life. Saying goodbye to a significant other, teammates from a sports team we love, or even our own family will be tough and have its challenges. But the light at the end of the tunnel is worth the reward. Sometimes we have to say goodbye. Here I had identified the negative numerals in my equation and was using it to being closer to finding the answer. In order for us to achieve personal growth, we must subtract the negative numbers in our lives. I learned one major lesson that day that is summarized in a quote by Robert II. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anyone or anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. We are given one opportunity on this earth to live our own lives. Why let those who negatively influence us tear us down any longer? When instead, we can be a part of something that allows us to grow into the individuals that we are. Take a moment and think of the places in your life that don't allow you to grow. Find the places in your life that don't let you be who you are. Whether it's friends who peer pressure you into bad decisions, teammates who only bring each other down, or even those at home that don't provide you with an environment to be a successful individual. Once you have that place identified, subtract yourself from that equation and immerse yourself into a place that allows you to be the individual that you are. Let this place show you the positives that life has to offer. Ever since I made the decision to leave the negative in my life, I only grew from there. My grades had improved, I enjoyed the life I was given much more, and I was grateful for the positive places in my life. But that wouldn't be possible if I didn't surround myself with the influential people and places that allowed me to be who I am. This wouldn't be possible if I didn't find my own home. I found my home on a dark day. It wasn't a soccer field, a family member's house, or even one of the spots that I frequently located all along the Central Coast. I found my positive on a day that I will never forget. One morning, I had received a call that my grandfather's health was ill, and that the chances of this being his last fight were predominant. I sat there in my bedroom, alone, with the beginning of depression glooming over me. The only thought in my mind was, how can a man that I admired so much be placed into a situation where doctors just resorted that this would be his final fight? Picking myself up, I drove to school, not wanting to talk to anyone or be a part of anything. But walking through the doors of one of my classrooms, I was greeted by a friendly smile from one of my ag teachers. After sitting there and talking to her about the situation that was facing my family, I had felt weights lifted off my shoulders. I had felt at ease, even amongst the sadness that was still there in my life. Life was okay again, and I had found my positive numbers. My positive numbers became 3 classrooms, a shop, greenhouse, and shade house. Unlike many other students on campus, I had found a home in the agriculture department and a family in the people who were a part of it. Aside from my already related family members who served as positive influences in my life, the agriculture department provided me with a family of individuals that I can still rely on today. Each showing me unique lessons in life, but more importantly, each teaching me that family isn't necessarily those you're related to. It's the people that you meet along the way that become your family. Each moment in the agriculture department allowed me to mold into the person that I am. Whether it was getting ready for a chapter meeting, coffee hour in the morning with Mr. Rodriguez, or even the conversations in the classroom each and every day, I was able to mold into the individual that I am, each moment shaping me into who stands here today. You see, the joys in our lives aren't necessarily the same from everyone else's. For some, it may be the football field, others, the stage, or even the agriculture department. The positive places in which we invest our lives into are the places in which allow us to grow into the individuals that we are. Think of the places in your life that provides you with this type of environment. Once you have that place, immerse yourself into that world, letting it fully take over the experience. Truly embody the experience it provides, because only then do we really see what it can lead to. To my mother and other family members, thank you for consistently believing in me. Whether pushing me to always do better for myself and for others, You have each served as positive role models in my life. Thank you for helping me find the home that I needed and always providing me with a sense of warmth after a cold experience. I love you. To my ag teachers, thank you for providing me with home. Each of you are responsible for the foundation of the home that has not only built myself, but many other Titans that walk through its gates. You each have influenced my life in so many ways that will allow me to continue to grow into the individual that I am. Thank you, and I love you. To my teammates, you have reminded me that family isn't necessarily those you're related to. It's the people that you meet along the way in life that become your family. Thank you for providing me with home this past year. Each moment I spend with you, I learned something new about myself that I didn't already know. Thank you for the memories made this year and for the many more to be made in the years to come. California FFA, in order for us to grow as individuals, we must subtract the negative from our lives and add the positive. Don't allow yourself to become a victim of what you've gone through. Instead, let the obstacles you are facing mold you into you. California, the equation isn't easy. The equation is complicated. But the decision to take a seat and pencil out the equation is up to you. Why don't you do the math this time?
of the world, hey. I'm on top of the world, hey. Waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, hey. Been holding it for a while, hey. Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world.
Ty, Ty-Poo, Tyler, Pumpkin Boy, Sherpa Tyler, Tyler. We know it's been pretty tough being away from Para Napomo, especially in the summer, but we're glad you took comfort in your fair share of avocados and hummus. Thank you for discovering literally every piece of music we utilized this year. From classics like the Beatles to bands no one has or will ever hear of. We can always count on you to wake up bright and early to squeeze in your 45-minute shower and stay up late to embrace your nocturnal tendencies in midnight jogs. Your love for thrift stores and desert boots lead you to be the team hipster. However, there was one thing we could always count on you to be regular with. Which reminds us of this documentary we saw on Netflix last week. But in all seriousness, your ideation and will to explore allowed us to view this year from a different lens. Thank you for using your unique story to embrace our members' diverse backgrounds and each of us individually. Without your organizational skills and tear sheet lists, the walls of our home would be bare, and we wouldn't be able to accomplish half the things we did this year. We will never forget your love for Elvis, your week-long commitment to being a vegetarian, and most importantly, your accepting heart. Love, Hannah, Leah, Kelsey, Jason, and Tyler. California FFA, your 2012-2013 State FFA reporter, Mr. Tyler Menane.
I take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, hey. I'm on top of the world, hey. Waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, hey. Been holding it in for a while, hey. Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these